Capturing a time lapse seems simple. Set the camera and walk away. But it's a test of patience. Light shifts, batteries drain, weather changes without warning, and the smallest shake can ruin hours of work. Still, the reward is undeniable. When the footage comes alive, clouds racing, cities breathing, nature in motion, you realize you captured something bigger than a moment. You filmed time itself. Hey everyone, good day to you all. I just wanted to come on here and basically show you some of the videos, the time lapses that I have created using the DJI Ronin 4D. This is such a good camera, and in no way am I saying, let me say this up front, in no way am I saying that you should go out and get this camera just to do time lapses. All I am saying is that if you do have this camera, this can very well also become a camera where you do time lapses with, and you don't necessarily have to pull out a photography camera and get the still images. Because we all know getting those still images, yes, they look very good, but it's extremely time consuming and it takes a lot longer than what this camera would do. Now, the doing time lapses is still time consuming and things like that, but you're not going to have to spend as much time. This camera allows you to move a lot faster. This camera has gotten all this hype from the gimbal and stabilizer and things like that, and the image quality. It's a very good camera for video and things like that. But you also can do time lapse, and I have the ProRes RAW on this camera, and you can actually do your time lapse in ProRes RAW. So now when you pull it into your editing suite, whichever one of your choice, you can edit straight onto the video. You don't have to do pictures and then export them out and then send them over to Adobe or Final Cut Pro or anything like that. You can basically just put your video right on the timeline. And if you have RAW in this camera, you can edit right in the RAW. So let me get to it. Tell you some of the things that I use. I did use the Manfrotto tripod. And this is the Manfrotto Bogen 3063. This is a very good tripod. It gets up to 7 feet. I think it's a little bit more than 7 feet, but it gets very high. Now for this video, I didn't need to go that high. But what I do love about it, you see the cylinder in the middle, and this part is very useful because it can actually extend or retract. So, and it goes up very high. Now, there has been times where I did have to put it up about 7 feet or whatever, but you got to basically use a chair or something when you do that. But on this one, I didn't have to. I just had to get it over the railing because I'm doing, for this particular shoot, I was on 288 freeway, the overpass on 288 freeway, and facing downtown. So I was getting the cars going towards downtown and coming from downtown. So I just had to, extend it just a little bit to give it over the railing. But this is a very good tripod. This is not sponsored or anything like that. It's an older tripod, but they still cost a lot of money because they're so good. You can probably still find these for about $500, which that's a lot of money for a tripod. But I'm telling you, I've been in situations where there was a crowd, but I didn't have to worry because I just extended this over the crowd. Like there's a couple of times I was like in press conferences and I never worried. The other people that I was with, they wanted me to get up near the front of the room. Oh, so you get a good spot. I was like, I wasn't really worried about it. I can set my camera back and I can stand over, up to 7 feet. So I never worried about it and it wasn't a problem. But anyway, this next step is very important when you're shooting a time lapse on the Ronin 4D. See this switch here? Make sure that it's off in the gimbal mode. And what that does, it deactivates the gimbal and basically it's going to shoot like a traditional camera. And as you can see, you got to lock the lens in place, lock everything in place so the lens doesn't move or anything like that, because now you're just filming it like it's a traditional camera. Okay, so here's the first time lapse. As you can see, this is using a 24mm lens, and this is filmed in ProRes RAW on the DJI Ronin 4D. And as you can see, as those shadows roll in because of the clouds, but I think it holds up pretty good in the shadows. I think the Ronin 4D does an excellent job with its time lapses. And okay, so the clouds are moving out the way and we're back in natural lighting. Okay, so let me take off the 24mm and put on the 50mm. These are the DJI lenses. And I'm actually going to put on some filters here. So I'm going to put on a Pro Black Mist filter, and I'm going to put on a circular polarizing filter. And we'll be able to see the difference as I put on the 50 millimeter. And I still got everything at the same setting, and nothing has changed as far as settings or anything like that, just the focal length. So as you can see, I got the circular polarizing filter on there, and I have the Pro Black Mist filter on there. Now, if you're using both of those filters, and if you're wondering, you need to put on the circular polarizing filter first so it can be closest to the lens, then put on the Pro Black Mist filter. So I used a 24 millimeter for this one. Okay, so I'm using a 50 millimeter at 1 frame per second, and I'll actually put up on the screen how it looks as I'm showing you this and things like that. Like I say, you just chill out, got to find other things to do, get on the phone, stuff like that. So yeah, so this is my view from the overpass over 288 facing towards downtown. Okay, so now that I'm all set up, here's the camera on overpass. It was very hot out there, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And yes, and as you can see, that battery is swollen and it's getting there. So yeah, DJI has a serious problem with those swollen batteries. But nevertheless, you know, the job has to get done. So as you can see here, I got it set to F9, 512 ND filter. I got it at 5600 for the balancing, the white balance. And we got it at 1 second per frame. So as you can see, that's my view. And basically, I'm just going to chill out for several minutes, let it do its thing. Okay, so this is the time-lapse video using a 50 millimeter, and I do have the circular polarizer filter on there and the Pro Black Mist filter. Okay, so as you time-lapse photographers know, the sun or clouds can be an issue depending on what you're trying to do. And in this case, the clouds were an issue. I got it on 512 ND filter, so when that cloud comes over, it can get very dark in the shadows. So you have to take that into account as you're balancing your exposure and stuff like that. I do use false color. I absolutely love false color is in this camera, and it helps me out a lot. But you know, I'll have the video up on the screen so you can see as the clouds passing over and it's going in and out of the shadows. Okay, for this last shot, I actually switched the lens again. I'm using the very wide angle Laowa 9 millimeter lens. I do not have a filter for this lens, so I'm just using the lens by itself. And like I said, I'll put up on the screen so you can see the footage and how it looks and how wide it is and things like that. I actually love this lens and things like this, but if you're going to use this lens, and if you have the DJI Ronin 4D, you have to switch to Super 35. You cannot shoot this in full frame because then you'll get that very, very noticeable vignetting in the corner. So just remember that when you use the Laowa and things like that. So, all right. So that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoy it. Just something very quick and just to show you the type of results that I'm getting with this. The color grading, I had a little difficult time with it and stuff because I was just out there experimenting for the most part and things like that, but I think it turned out pretty good. But I got some other time lapses with this camera, and I mean, the images absolutely look stunning. So I actually love this camera. It has become my A camera. I actually got it for a B camera, but it is definitely my A camera now. So I use it for regular footage, I use it for slow motion, I use it for time lapses. So, you know, so that's just something I just wanted to share with y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, and I'm going to put out more videos so we can learn together, improve our craft, and continue to maximize these cameras for the way they were intended to be maximized.